Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are back in Minecraft Hardcore, and in today's episode, we are going to be building the largest melon/pumpkin farm in all of Minecraft. And if you don't know what skin I'm using right now, this is my Halloween skin. I'm supposed to kinda look like a pumpkin. So let's get started on this giant pumpkin/melon farm. Now, the most expensive material I am going to need will be pistons. I will need 9 stacks of pistons. And I have a beacon here, but no actual beacons. So I'm gonna head to my wither skeleton farm, place some beacons there, and I'm gonna start mining a bunch so I can make 9 stacks of pistons. While I was heading to my wither skeleton farm, I just found some broken bedrock. I wonder how this even got here. And there we go, we have all of these beacons. So I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna start mining a bunch of cobblestone. Wait a second, I just realized I already have so much cobblestone in my chest. Well, that was a complete waste of time. And now, since I already have all the cobblestone, it's time for the redstone. I think I'm gonna head to my raid farm to see how much redstone that produces me. And it turns out I only need 6 stacks of pistons, not 9. So that'll save a lot of materials. And here we are at my raid farm. There's only a little bit of redstone, so I'm gonna wait till I get a lot more. That one raid didn't even add a single piece of redstone, so I don't think it's worth it to continue. So I'm gonna go mine for it manually. And the redstone should be the only thing that I need, because the rest of it is in my shulker boxes, because I already have the materials at home. And there we go, here are all the 6 stacks of pistons. And I'll also need a ton of observers, so I have to go get some quartz. And now that we have all the pistons and the observers, we just need a few more pieces of redstone. And I'm gonna grab a bunch of sand so I can make a bunch of glass for this. So I cleared out this area right beside my iron farm, so I can start building. And I am planning to make 10 rows of pumpkin farms areas, and it'll be 10 by 10. There'll be 300 spots for melons and pumpkins to grow in total. So I'm gonna start building layer 1. So I build these by putting dirt up here, then I put some blocks behind it, then I have to put an observer right here, a block behind them, 2 pistons on each side, then finally 2 pieces of redstone right here. And now I only have to plant these melons. And now I'm gonna repeat this 10 more times going forward. So I finished making these 10 first rows of the farm. I'm gonna make 3 layers of this though. But since all these melons are just falling onto the floor, I'm gonna start work on the collection system. So underneath the farm, I dug out a long path with water, and then a bunch of hoppers leading to some chests right down here. This will collect all of the melons and pumpkins. And now I can start working on the next layer, which will be entirely pumpkins. So I have to build a bunch more of these strips, another 10. And I have completed the second layer of all pumpkins. And now it's time for the last layer, the third layer. I'm gonna make half of that layer pumpkins and the other half melons. And there we go, that is all 3 layers of this farm done. In total, there's about 150 melons and 150 pumpkins. But this farm has really been messing with this iron golem farm, because the iron golems will spawn up here, and then they walk down onto the grass. So, to fix that, I'm gonna cover this entire thing with glass. And there we go, the whole thing is covered in glass. Now I just have to kill all these iron golems and the iron farm should be working again. And now that the iron farm is working again, I can move on to the next step. I'm gonna build a giant pumpkin around this entire thing. And to do that, I'm gonna need a lot of orange dye. And I already have a bunch of red dye in here from the iron golem farm, but I need to go get some yellow dye. So I made this thing, and I can just bone meal this, and all the flowers will break. And then I can get a bunch of yellow flowers. And there we go, I have a bunch of orange dye. And I have all this orange dye, but to make concrete, I need gravel and I need sand. And I don't have any of that stuff. So I'm gonna go make a sand duper. And I need to dig around the end portal, which will destroy all of my hard work transforming it, but I need this sand duper. So I finished clearing out this area, and I had to destroy a lot of stuff, but there's a little bit of glass left, and now I'm just gonna go get a bunch of materials to build this sand farm. So I got all of these materials, so I can actually start building it now. Now the first step is to break the end portal frames. So I have to do this, place some dirt, mushroom, and if I break all of this, it should grow. Oh, it worked! Well, I'm also going to do that on this side of the portal, and now I can actually start building the dupers. First, I'm going to place a sticky piston and a block, then some redstone. That's the redstone. Now another sticky piston right here with some blocks, and now I need 3 more sticky pistons, some slime blocks, some leaves, and now I just have to repeat this on this side. And there we go. I built both sides of the farm. Now I have to build a chunk loader, so that while I'm in the end, it will still stay active. And there we go, this is the chunk loader. Now the next part is the collection chamber, and that is going to be done in the end. So I'm gonna start working on this. And there we go, I have finished the collection system. All the sand will fall onto these buttons and go into these hoppers, which will lead into these chests. I just realized I'm exactly on day 1000, which means it's time for a 1000-day sign. And there we go, that is my 1000-day sign made out of dripstone. But now we can get back to the sand duper. And now the last step, I'll place these blocks, and I have to hope it works when I flick this lever. So far it looks good, now I have to go into the end. And it looks like it's working. But it seems to have stopped. There's some sand and some gravel. I don't think the chunk loader is working. And there we go. It's finally producing both sand and gravel. And already looks like I've made a lot of sand and some gravel. So I'm just gonna go AFK here for a little bit to see how much I get. Now I can take all the sand and gravel, and I can turn it all into orange concrete. And now we have a bunch of orange concrete powder. This is the concrete farm I built in my house, and it should just work like this. So I'm gonna turn all of this concrete powder into concrete. So I got all of this concrete, and now I'm gonna start building a giant pumpkin out of all this orange concrete around the pumpkin/melon farm. I'm gonna start by building up the walls and the back of the pumpkin. I'm gonna leave the front for last. So I used all of the concrete, and I was able to complete 3 out of 5 sides. So I have to go get some more concrete. I've restocked on orange concrete so I can continue building. And now all of the walls are done. I also added the little pumpkin stem at the top. But it's finally for the face of the pumpkin. And I want to make like a smiley face with some eyes. That's why I left it for last, because it'll be a bit harder. So let's get started on that. And this is the face of the giant pumpkin. I think that it looks pretty good. Not too scary, but also not too happy. And I can just fly in from the mouth if it ever breaks and I need to fix it. And now we can see how much materials it made after all the time it took to build that. Oh my god, this is completely full of melons and pumpkins. There's a few extra odd blocks in here, but other than that, it is very full. Alright guys, that's it for today's episode of Minecraft Hardcore, where we built this giant melon/pumpkin farm with a giant pumpkin around it. This project was mainly Halloween themed because Halloween is only in a few days. But be sure to tune in next time for another epic episode. Bye!